Aha, there we go. I was saying, while I was muted, I was thinking to myself fully, wow, I'm like really ready for this stream very early, especially considering, hold on. I was like, especially considering, I don't usually stream in the afternoons. I was like, yay, I'm very, very early. I'm very prepared. We're doing good. I didn't have my mic plugged in. Anyway, this is gonna be another probably shorter stream, because I have things to do later, which is why I'm streaming in the afternoon instead of evening. But I want to do a Cabernet nihilism run. Nihilism run fun. I'm gonna be sad about doing a nihilism run, but I did want to at least try starting one. I'm currently on my second playthrough, like full playthrough of Cabernet right now. And my goal for my second playthrough was to date as many people as possible, and I did it. I dated all 4 love interests. It broke the game a little to do it for reasons, but I did it. And there's also the option to, the 2 stats that you focus on balancing in this game are nihilism versus humanity. And in my first playthrough, I just sort of went with, like, these are the decisions that I think are the right decisions to make. And so I didn't end up maxing out my nihilism. But in my second playthrough, I maxed out both humanity and nihilism. Where did I put my water bottle? It's across the room. If I make my fake VTuber stare into space for a second, and let you guys just listen to the, I'll let you guys listen to the lullaby for a second while I go grab my water bottle that I left across the room. Hold on. Anyway, we're back. This lullaby is very pretty. I want to cover this lullaby. There isn't like a official instrumental of it besides this music box. So I might do either some funky acapella shit or entrust one of my more musically inclined friends to help me with an instrumental. We'll see what happens. I accidentally... This does not like to stay small screen. It really wants to go full screen. One thing about this game, it only seems to have 3 save slots. Yay, thank you for the follow. Is it Lugo Wrath? Thank you so much for following. Also, this game is voice acted, so I can stop yapping.
Thank you all for coming here today to say goodbye to my Lisa. I never thought I would bury my own daughter, my own blood, my pride, yet I can't do this. Rico, please say something. I just can't.
There. It's all right. What can I say about someone dying so young? Particularly someone as special as Lisa. If I may, I won't dwell on the circumstances of her tragic death today. Instead, I'd like us to celebrate her life. Despite her obvious calling for medicine, when she was little, I always thought she would become...
Also, this is a bonkers way to build stats, and I feel like I don't yap about it enough. Doing your stats via a eulogy. Crazy. What do I want to go with this time? It's... You know what? I think politician works for the, like, nihilism route. Being good at politics is probably going to help this time around.
A big-name politician. You're going to laugh, but little Lisa solved home disputes better than any court judge.
Court judge? Oh my god, this too is Ace Attorney?
He got out of all kinds of trouble, too. Even if we knew she stole a cookie, no one could ever prove it. Such a bright girl. Always a top student. Always the pride of her parents. By the time she graduated.
Writing or science? Let's go with science.
Lisa knew everything there was to learn from books about science in our enlightened age. Laws of physics, human anatomy, chemical solutions, you name it. Every time she went on about this scientist or that discovery, she'd light up like a matchstick. Most of the time I couldn't understand a word of it, but I just nodded along and mused at how bright our girl was. I can't tell you how proud we all were when she was accepted at the medical academy. I had no doubt that she was destined for greatness. But to become a doctor, one of the first women to achieve that in the whole country. If someone deserved that honor, it was our Lisa. But my niece was so much more than a gifted student. Even with all her talent for science, what everybody truly knew her by was her artistic nature and angelic voice. Do you remember her summer night performances at the cabin? Her singing, no matter the song, time or place, it felt like it spoke to you alone. Haunting, otherworldly, beautiful.
I do think it's interesting. Many of the characters get sprites, but for as much as Uncle Mitko gets to speak, he doesn't ever get a sprite.
She was my favorite niece. Let us raise a glass to her.
And I feel
Pour
like
some vodka for Corda too. He is old enough
Hold on.
to send his sister off.
I feel like Mitko is like a very influential person for Lisa, but we don't get a chance to see him, unfortunately. I'm glad he does get to talk so much, though.
A piece of my soul went into the ground with her today, as I'm sure did many of yours. Let those pieces help Lisa, wherever she is now. To Lisa.
Stop going full screen.
When I was a little girl, I often had trouble falling asleep. My mother used to sing me this lullaby to comfort me. Tonight, I slept deeper than I had in my entire life. I had a disturbing dream that a string was coming out of my mouth. When I started pulling it, I realized that it came from all the way down my throat, buried somewhere deep in my body. I kept pulling, but I couldn't go too quickly for fear of burning myself with friction. Finally, the whole string was out. I felt relieved, but also strangely empty. I realized that I was in my bed, with my mother sitting beside me, crying. I didn't know why she was in tears, but I knew it was my fault.
Jesus Christ, that scared the shit out of me.
Dear Lord. Mom? Cola? My body feels like it's stuffed with cotton. Like I slept for days.
Okay, let's explore shit.
Either this is a nightmare, or I'm in hell. This feels too real to be a dream.
Lantern. Yay.
The cupboard is locked. Why would anyone keep something of value in a place like this?
Trying to remember what else there was. Ooh, spooky. I'm walking through this so boldly. The first time I was playing this, I wasn't sure how much of it would be horror versus how much of it would be cozy. I was terrified.
My medical journal from the academy and my family medallion. Who could have brought this here?
All right. Seek a way out. Okay. All right, so our top stats this time around are music and arts, science and logic, history and politics. We have 5 humanity to start out and 0 nihilism. Other times I've had higher literature and writing focus. I don't think I've ever gone with history and politics as one of my first ones, but it's pretty easy to even out your stats throughout the game. Usually you'll be lacking a little bit in one area, but depending on outfits that you wear, your stats will change.
Lilies of the valley. My favorite flower. Who put them in this room? It's disturbing to see them here.
Anything over here? I don't think so. Cool.
Locked. Hello? Anyone? Please help. I'm stuck here. Anyone? It's no use. Hello? Who is this? I'm locked inside. Please help.
Do.
Are you still there? Maybe you can't talk? Please knock twice for yes and once for no. Thank goodness. Can you help me open the door? Thank you. Thank you so much. Will you help me?
Damn.
What is it that you want from me?
So I did go through all of these just to check, because I was curious, and I was wondering if these were different options, perhaps, because this does come back to you. You have to say favor.
I don't have much, but I can owe you a favor?
The mysterious entity is rather pedantic.
Then it's settled. Whoever you are, do you hear me? If you open this door, I, Yelizaveta Morozova, will be in your debt.
I will say, one thing I really like about the voice acting in this game is there's a very wide variety of accents used, and it's kind of the accents don't signify anything. Sort of, I feel like when you'd play a D&D campaign or when you're in a fantasy setting, sometimes the accents are still even if you're not in the real place, oh, this group of people will have British accents, or this group of people will be American. That doesn't really exist in this game. It really seems like they were cast just based on do they fit the character and not based on accent. That said, because this is in a fictional Eastern European nation, there is kind of a like wider cultural variety within Eastern European cultures, like represented in the names here. But because of the wider variety of accents, I'm not 100% sure like how to pronounce some of the names because different voice actors will say them differently. So I don't know if it's Elizaveta or Elizavieta. We're just gonna keep calling her Lisa.
What the hell is this? My shoulder just felt like it was burning up. I can't see anything from this angle. I should check up on it later.
I will say I'm not too well versed
It's
in
open.
Eastern European culture and language, but
No one.
you can kind of tell where certain things come from. Like obviously, like it's Eastern Europe, so it's a vampire series, so Transylvania definitely has an influence. But like Lisa's tombstone listed the family name first. It was Morozova first, and then Elizaveta, which is a Hungarian tradition, I'm pretty sure. But her last name is Morozova, whereas her male relatives are just Morozov, which I think is a Russian tradition.
What have I gotten myself into?
And I don't mean that to say that it was like, you know, things are just mashed together. I think it was a good choice. I like what they did with it. All right, experience points. I want to have as well-rounded of a, actually, in this exact moment, it would be better to have higher history if I remember correctly. We can be a little bad at literature this time around. It'll be okay. Seek a way out.
I'm not going back in there.
All right. I was so careful, like walking through this part my first time playing. I was so scared.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Luckily, this isn't ew. This isn't a very jump scare heavy game. There's a couple of moments with some very scary sounding sound effects. But generally, jump scares only happen during scene changes and whatnot. Zero Escape mentioned. Hi, Trav.
What a peculiar painting. This must be from nearly 400 years ago. The family clearly belongs to the ruling class, wealthy and powerful.
We're a vampire? Spoilers, level up dialogue.
The husband and wife in the picture don't look very happy. If I had to guess, I'd say it wasn't the perfect marriage.
Oof.
It smells like death here.
Scary noises.
Like in the academy when we left a cadaver out for too long.
Don't leave a cadaver out for
Only-
too long.
It's much worse than that.
Gross.
There's someone's money in here.
Also, it says it's July 18XX. Lisa's tombstone had a birth year on it, and we do know she's, I think, 22 years old, which makes this game take place in, I want to say, the 1860s. I wrote it down somewhere. What is that scratching noise? But it's interesting that they go with 18XX when, like, you can calculate the actual year that things are taking place.
I could live on this for a week.
5 coins I could live on this for a week is crazy because in my other save file right now I have like 200 coins.
After all that has happened, I think...
Oops. Alright, Lisa's morality is still shaping. Certain choices provide you with humanity or nihilism points. Some choices will only become available to Lisa after she reaches certain levels.
I think I deserve this.
So we are going to play as selfish and nihilistic and opportunistic as we can.
The mirror is covered by a sheet. People only do that when someone dies. Mother explained that this is so the dead soul does not get lost and trapped inside. Silly superstition, of course. We live in the age of science where there's no room for this nonsense.
There we go.
What is this? Where
Jump
is my
steer.
reflection? I can't see myself. It must be a trick mirror.
Surely it's a trick, right? Surely nothing's wrong with us. Ugh.
Eerie. It's hard to say without seeing the face, but this dress. Could it be the same girl from the first painting?
I wonder why that's science and not art and and not music and arts. I do like this is an indie game with a very small production team, and I think based on that knowledge, this is a really incredible game. That said, some of the things like that doesn't really fit into science and logic. I guess it fits into logic, but I feel like it could also fit into arts. But, you know, it's not the end of the world, right? Like, surely we're not a vampire. What does vampire rank mean? Surely this is figurative.
This is unbearable. I'm a doctor. I can get through this.
Which
I just
also,
need to look straight ahead.
speaking of absolutely crazy things, aside from being a, like, she's like in her early 20s. She's a young woman. She is a full-fledged doctor in the late 1800s. Crazy.
Give me strength, no matter what is on the other side.
I'm sure that's not thematic at all.
What
Oh,
in
boy.
heavens is all this?
Yeah, there's moments
I
like
will
that
make sense of all this later.
where the scene changes can be a little bit buggy or whatnot, but like, it's whatever.
Something is wrong. My head is spinning.
I apologize
I
for
feel
the
floor slipping from under my feet.
disorienting wobbling that the screen is doing right now. It's one of my
Would you
complaints.
Look at her. How does one have the gall to show at the Countess's manor in such a filthy
wait.
outfit?
She must be a nihilist. It's spreading all over the country like a plague.
So just because this is going to
don't
be...
know what you're talking about.
Hold on.
It's the latest rage in Paris now. The dirtier, the better.
All right, just because this is going to be the nihilist run, I want to read the nihilism entry. Nihilism is a direction of philosophy popularized in Europe in the 18th century. It puts social norms, morals, and ideals under scrutiny, or in certain cases, rejects them completely. So, like, I really like that they include the, like, a sort of, like, frame definition of nihilism instead of just using it as like an interchangeable word for cynicism. Also, Francophilia. They're obsessed with the French in this era. Medical education. In some countries, many females were only able to study at these institutions at the very end of the 19th century. All right. Keep walking. Yeah, one of my complaints is there's a couple of like dizzying effects and they're a little too disorienting. Okay, these people don't have anything to say. Hi, Arbin. Okay, nothing over here. I walked the wrong way, apparently. Do.
Have you heard? The Countess is sending me on a special assignment to the capital.
You lucky devil. I've been stuck here for years. I swear, I'd dull my fangs just to spend a night in the city.
Miss, are you all right?
Hi, Brian David Gilbert.
Business, Petya. It's rude to stare at a lady.
Hi, Samantha Bayart.
Sorry.
I'm starving, and the food looks so fresh and delicious, but The strangest thing is, I have absolutely no appetite for it.
Wonder why. I'm sure it's nothing.
I know it's not ideal, Countess Orlova, but I'm afraid there is not much we can do at this point.
Hi, Hussar.
Of course now there bloody isn't. The right time to act was last week. I don't understand where this influx of product is coming from. It's undercutting our prices. Where were you when I... Who is this creature? Darling, you look like a little domovoy. Come over here. I don't bite.
Hello? Hello? I'm terribly...
You must be the doctor's new apprentice. Look at you, poor thing. You must be fresh out of the ground.
Excuse me?
Ugh, nobody must have actually inducted you. How typical. No surprise with the men around here. Hussar, why is she in such a state?
She was not supposed to wake.
Well, I skipped whatever that dialogue was.
Hussar, be a darling and show this young lady around once she's decent.
As you wish, madam. If you'll excuse me, I'll go for a smoke on the balcony. You can find me there.
You're excused.
Bye, Hussar. Hussar is probably my
If I
favorite
recall
character.
my first day correctly, your head must be killing you. Here, drink this.
Thank you. May I ask what this is?
If you know too much, you'll grow old sooner. Trust me, it will lift your spirits.
Whatever this is, it's beyond delicious. It's sweet and thick and tastes like cherry and wild strawberries. Thank you. I do feel a lot better all of a sudden.
Also, it's kind of subtle, but I like that when you drink, you get sort of a healthier, like, flush to your skin versus when you're starving, you're very pale and have dark circles under your eyes.
Now go change. We can't have you gallivanting around in those scrubs. There is a nice dress about your size in the cloakroom. Consider this my welcome gift.
Thank you kindly, madam.
We just fuck up her name. Orlova.
Madam Orlova.
You're welcome, child. Now off you go, change and mingle. Time is money.
And when we're healthy, we can walk faster. Right.
Another cloth on a mirror. Something bad must have happened. So strange. This mirror doesn't work either.
I'm sure it's nothing. Mirror's just broken, guys.
That should do it, hopefully. The Countess sure has excellent taste in literature. In other circumstances, I'd spend all day here reading.
Yippee. All right.
Goodness.
Dress up time.
This must be the dress the Countess was talking about. Such an ornate Western style. It must cost a small fortune. I want nothing more than to change out of this horrible nightgown, but this is just too much.
And it boosts our history and politics stats. Also, this is such a pretty dress. This is kind of like the default one.
It's perfect. Fits like a glove.
It's so pretty. If I were to cosplay Lisa, I would probably end up doing this dress. All right, talk to Hussar. I don't think there's anything else to do in here. Yep, okay.
I still don't know what's happening here. Or at least I hope I don't.
At least I hope I don't.
But delaying the inevitable is just tying my stomach in knots. I need to find that young man and learn the truth.
All right. Hi, Brian David Gilbert. Oh, I went the wrong way. Hey, man.
Locked. Locked.
Nope. Action points. These take up time. Can I please? There we go.
Good evening, Hussar.
Ah, there's our belle of the ball. Lisa, right? You actually don't look half bad when you're not covered in graveyard dirt.
Rude. I'm gonna be mean.
I wish I could return the compliment, but you look quite pale and dreary.
I'm so sorry, Hussar.
Must be from all that tobacco.
Huh. I like a lady with a sharp tongue. However, I'm afraid my paleness doesn't come from smoking. Surely an educated lady like you must have put together who we are by now, haven't you?
He's fun. If you give him shit, he likes you more. These two have a very fun banter. Fun enough that I really thought he was a romance option. He's most definitely not a romance option. But they do have one of my favorite relationships in the game, I think. Oh no, we're too dumb. We don't want to guess.
I'd rather not guess. Please, just tell me straight.
During Pride Month?
Who are you?
Simply, we are vampires.
Actually. Yeah, just double checking. We have such huge history and politics stats now, but our literature and writing is like, eh.
Is this why I had no reflection in the mirror?
No, the mirror's just broken.
If that's what you're concerned about, you look just fine.
Does this mean I'm dead?
I think that's more of a philosophical question.
Dead, alive, who the hell cares? Trust me, Lisa, you just won the lottery.
Who the hell cares? Certainly not nihilists.
I don't even remember how it happened. Must be some sort of a defense mechanism that suppresses a traumatic experience.
That actually does happen quite a bit. That memory usually comes back soon enough.
So the summary of what just got added to the glossary is that vampires, when they're turned in this universe, completely forget how they died. And usually that memory starts coming back within the year, but for some people it can take like decades to get that memory back.
What about my family? When can I see them?
I was worried you will ask me that. Technically, they think you are dead, and it is best for everyone if they keep thinking that.
And we're prohibited from contacting family for the obvious immortality reasons. Telling someone the details of their turning is discouraged by higher society, as it may cause additional trauma during the uneasy transition.
It's true, too.
I can't just leave them like this. They have to know I'm all right.
Look, I know this is too much for you to take in right now. Maybe that's a conversation we should revisit another time.
Countess calls you Hussar. What's your real name?
At this point, I've been called that far longer than my real name. Just call me that.
All
Okay.
right. Hussar it is. I have so many questions.
See, that's what I was afraid of. Theory is not my forte. I'm a proponent of learning by doing. Why don't you go talk the ears off some other guests while I finish smoking in peace?
Dancing through life ass character.
After that, I can show you what it's really like to be one of us.
I suppose I can do that. Could you at least tell me a little bit about the people, the guests in there?
Oh, come on. Where is your spirit of adventure? I'm sure you'll figure it out on your own. What is it?
I wonder if the Countess would approve of you pushing your responsibilities off to a bunch of strangers.
Well played. Fine. Let me think for a moment about our fun little group here. You've already met the Countess, so that's a big plus. Not everyone gets to do that in their first month, let alone first day. Who else would you like to know about?
Lady with the purple hair.
Who is the intense lady with the purple hair?
Well, she's voiced by Samantha Bayard.
That's Elisa. She is quite important around here. I'd try to start out on the right foot with her if I were you.
What could you tell me about the woman in the pink dress?
You must mean Arben.
Arben!
You know, they say she was born somewhere far to the east.
And they never tell us where.
That broad has been around forever. Probably has a tale or two to share.
What about the young man who asked about my health?
Brian David Gilbert.
Who? Oh, you must mean Petya. He is just a human. Elisa brought him in for fun. He is such a card and has absolutely no clue.
A clueless young man surrounded by vultures. That's fascinating.
I feel mean picking all the mean options, but I said I was gonna do a nihilism run.
Right?
Jesus. This opening scene is gonna suck going nihilist route. Damn, Hussar, Jesus.
I suppose that's everyone of note, really. Besides me, of course.
Don't be rude to Petya.
Of course. All right. Thank you kindly. I'll be back soon enough.
No rush, please.
Alright. Let's explore. Talk to people.
I do actually have a model right here with me. I always carry Matilda with me, just in case a
Matilda.
good opportunity strikes. You never know.
I love Matilda.
Look into her eyes. Doesn't she look alive to you? Like she's going to blink?
I like Matilda, Petya.
Yes, well. Apologies.
Petya.
Petya, we should probably go and discuss some urgent business with the Countess.
Oh, of course. In fact, I'd love to meet her as...
We're gonna have to be
I
so
don't
mean
know
to you,
how,
Petya.
but I can just sense that he is not one of us. Such a strange feeling. Attraction? No, but something very similar. He is most certainly human.
Hey, man.
Oh, hello. It's you, lady in the nightgown. How are you feeling? I was really worried.
You're so nice. I'm gonna be so mean to you this playthrough.
Much better. Thank you. I'm Lisa, by the way.
Of course. Where are my manners? I'm Petya.
It's a pleasure. You were the only one who seemed to care about my illness.
Oh, nonsense. They are a lovely bunch around here, just all very busy. The third group I'm pitching my dolls to, and everyone keeps running off for urgent business.
Oh, Petya.
How did you end up being invited here, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, that's all thanks to Elisa, the lovely young woman in the yellow dress. She saw me at the town market and saw some real potential in my work. She said that the people in the manor might be interested in seeing it, and you didn't have to ask me twice.
I see. How is pitching going so far?
I'll admit, it's a little slow, but the night is still young.
You are an optimistic guy, aren't you, Petya?
My mother used to say that my hope will be the death of me.
No.
But what's the point of living if you don't believe in people and yourself?
God. Going full nihilism is gonna suck.
You may be right about that. At least I truly hope you are. Did you say you're selling dolls?
And making them, yes?
I see you have one with you. May I take a look?
Of course. Matilda here is my favorite. I'd love to get some honest feedback.
Oh, we're gonna be so
Well,
mean. Oh,
what do you
no.
think?
Oh, I feel bad, but we're gonna click it.
Ugh. She kind of looks like she was brought back from the dead to haunt naughty children.
I'm so sorry, Matilda. No!
Thank you for your honesty. You know, making toys is what I wanted to do since I was a little boy. My father always called this foolishness, among other things. Said it's not manly work. I never managed to convince him otherwise.
I'm sure that won't come up again.
I'm sorry. That must have been tough.
Well, here I am, still at it. I do have a feeling that I'm onto something with Matilda. Just you wait. My gut tells me that tonight is going to bring something special, and it's never wrong.
Suddenly I have urgent
Best
business.
of luck with everything, Petya. Hope everything works out with the Countess.
Thank you, Lisa. You're very kind.
I really feel like I was rather mean, but okay. Oh, wait. I want to do a funny.
Hey, stop messing with the phonograph. It's not a toy.
Sorry.
Funny.
Have you tried the Countess's Cabernet? Honestly, I think this may have been the best one I ever tasted.
I prefer to stick to clear drinks around here. If you really want to try some decent Cabernet, stop by my salon on the main street.
Oh, that sounds like a challenge. I'll take you up on that offer.
Hi, Arbin.
Hello. I don't think I've seen you around here before. I'm Arbin.
I'm Lisa. Good evening to you, too.
You don't sound so sure. Is it really a good one for you?
You're right. If I'm honest, it hasn't been the easiest night.
If I'm being real, tonight sucks.
That's what I thought. My advice is always be honest, unless you absolutely can't be. In the end, it does make everyone feel better.
That's a good piece of advice.
Stick with me, lovely. I'm chock full of them.
I couldn't help but overhear that you are a wine expert?
I dabble. I run a literary salon in town and serve drinks there.
Literary salon, a hosted gathering of people for the study and enjoyment of literature. It's giving my stream chat sometimes. During the salon, attendees amuse one another and increase their knowledge through conversation and the exchange of ideas. Salon culture was introduced to areas of Eastern Europe during the spread of Francophile culture in the 18th century. Since Arbin regularly hosts these types of gatherings, her establishment is affectionately referred to as the town's literary salon.
How exciting. All kinds of interesting people must come by.
You'd be surprised, my dear, and mildly disappointed.
Damn.
I'd love for you to stop by one day. I'll treat you to a round of something nice.
I'll make sure to visit.
Oh boy, side quest.
Since you're an expert, may I ask you about the wine that the Countess gave me?
You said wine so hesitantly, Lisa.
I'll admit I found it delicious, but it wasn't really wine, was it?
Wine?
It was not. Cabernet was sort of our code word for blood, so we don't shock any innocents.
So, I didn't initially get this. I was a little confused between whether Cabernet was just straight up blood or like something else. So Cabernet is a human blood-based liquid that can replace traditional feeding for vampires. Unlike unprocessed blood, it has a long shelf life. Making Cabernet is a complicated and expensive process, highly prone to error. Most often than not, Cabernet batches fail, which is why it often requires copious amounts of human blood to create a small amount of product.
And then we just got used to it. Funny how language works, isn't it?
It is funny how language works.
Yes. Funny. Arbin, I've only just been turned, and all of this is very new to me. May I trouble you for some advice?
I hope you don't mind me asking, but has someone in your family enjoyed wine a little too much?
Sorry, that's a little too personal.
I understand. Everyone has their own boundaries.
No,
Just
typo.
remember one thing. Demons are hereditary. Look after yourself.
If I'm not wrong, I think demons are hereditary is the like tagline for this game, like in
Well,
marketing.
I should get going.
Good luck. I have a feeling we'll see each other soon.
Things that became immediately obvious, in part because there is a big content warning when you open up the game. Vampirism in this universe is very much an allegory for alcoholism, among other things, but that's definitely the standout metaphor.
Come on. Don't any of you cowards want to have any fun?
Hi, Samantha Bayard.
My lady, with all due respect, Russian roulette just seems like, too much fun for the night.
Fine. Get lost then. Be
Oh.
on your merry way. Who knew that the second time I die would be of boredom?
Hey, Elisa.
Now, would you look at this pretty picture?
Damn, all right, starting off strong.
I could barely recognize you from before.
Mean.
Where did you get this dress?
It's a gift from the Countess. She is very generous.
Huh. I thought it looked familiar. Name is Alisa, by the way.
Lisa, it's a pleasure. So, I've just been turned today.
Congratulations. That must be quite shocking. Thrilling, even.
Congratulations is interesting when other people haven't really said the same.
I'm envious, really.
Yes, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to process all this yet. What does one even do with this? Being dead, drinking blood, who knows what else?
Same thing anyone around here does. Masticating plain eternity day after day. Spicing it up any way you can.
Hence the Russian roulette.
We're already dead, aren't we? What else is there to lose?
I mean, like a piece of your skull and brain.
Do you fancy a round?
I would like to keep that in my head.
Maybe some other time.
Suit yourself.
May I ask who was the young man you talked with earlier?
Who, Petya? Why, are you interested?
Goodness, no. I was just making conversation.
Don't be shy. We're not attached.
I'm eepy.
Petya is human. I picked him up at the town market.
Like he's a tomato?
He is a salesman. A ridiculously bad one at that.
I mean, I guess he is kind of adjacent to picking up a tomato at the market. He is edible.
If you two are not an item, may I ask why did you invite him over?
People have friends, Lisa.
Because it was my turn.
A turn for what?
To spice up the eternity.
So, it's true what they say? Vampires live forever?
We exist forever. We don't live. But then again, few do.
Does this mean that we can't stop existing?
Oh, sweetheart, there is nothing easier. Just stop drinking blood for a few days, fall from a high roof, or just step into the sunlight.
I should probably be writing this all down.
So, now that you have eternity on your side, do you consider your existence more valuable?
I suppose infinite time does add some gravity to it.
I see. In that case, how would you compare the value of your new existence to, say, Petya's?
Time to get a fucked up fork in the road.
If I'm honest, I'd have to say mine. To think of how much I'd be able to accomplish now.
Fair enough. Still, it's an interesting thought experiment, isn't it?
Indeed.
I really like how much of this game is like philosophical dilemmas.
Excuse me. I think someone is calling for me.
All right, we've socialized. I'm gonna give it a second because it probably requires me to get the next quest line, or it doesn't. Okay, return to Hussar, let's go. Yep, there we go. New objective. Sometimes takes a second to load in. Hey, Hussar.
Good timing. I just finished up.
Yes, how lucky.
Don't be snappy, Lisa. Smoking is an important routine for a soldier. Can't be interrupted.
Okay.
A soldier, huh? And which division were you in, exactly?
We can talk about the divisions some other time, perhaps.
I don't know if he ever answers that.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
What is going on in the basement of the manor? It's absolutely terrifying down there.
Oh yes, the basement. If I were you, I would just forget all about it.
That's not concerning at all.
Excuse me?
All I know is that Countess conducts her business and she doesn't enjoy people meddling in it.
If it's so confidential, how come I ended up there in the first place?
Minor oversight. You
Minor
were supposed
oversight.
to be moved upstairs before you were up, but appears that you are an early riser.
And whose oversight was it? may I ask?
Let's not focus on casting blame, shall we? I say all's well that ends well.
All right.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
Who ended up letting me out of the chamber?
If I'm honest, I haven't the foggiest idea. I thought you knew.
Nope.
Well, I don't. And whoever it was gives me the goosebumps. On top of everything, I ended up promising them a favor and felt a bad burn on my shoulder right after that. Do you know what it could possibly be?
Let me take a look. Oh, brother.
What? What is it?
It could be nothing, really. No need to worry. Just make sure that you show this to the doctor when you see him.
That's
alright?
extremely concerning, Hussar.
All right.
So, are there any other questions you...
Other creatures.
If vampires are real, does this mean other fairy tales are?
You'll have to be more specific than that.
Every single one. Name every fairy tale.
Rusalkas? Domovoys? Ghosts?
So rusalkas are water ghosts, usually young women. Some regional folklore even describes it as displaying characteristics of a fish, looking like fish. Older texts speak of its benevolent nature, guiding the harvest and spurring fertility. The rusalka has become more frequently linked to death and drowning. Often revenge related. I feel like that's very common for all cultures, is water ghosts of some kind. In Korea, they're literally just called water ghosts, I know. Mukishin. But like, just for the sake of having a reason to avoid water, especially like it's very easy for people, like even grown adults, to underestimate water. So having a water ghost is a good way to warn against that, and also explain that in a way that is the way folklore and myth work. Also a domovoi, because I didn't go over it earlier. In Slavic mythology, a domovoi is a house spirit that watches over a dwelling and has significant impact on the family's life and well-being. If pleased, a domovoi may be of tremendous value to the inhabitants of a house. But if they upset him or he simply has a bad temper, it may lead to lost items, illnesses, poverty, and other misfortunes. Some people leave food or other gifts for domovoi to get on their good side. They are often visually represented as covered in soot and dirt, which is why we looked like a little domovoi.
Yes. No. Yes. We'll spend all night here if we keep talking about flora and fauna.
So, rusalkas are real, domovoi don't exist, and ghosts do.
If you want my advice, focus on yourself first. That always ends up working for me.
Which also works out because you never see a domovoi in this game.
So, are there any other questions you have left for me?
Nope.
I suppose that's it for the time being.
Perfect. If you don't mind me asking, what do you make of all this?
What the fuck, man?
I take it you've done a couple laps around the ballroom. Learned a little more about what it's like to be one of us.
Keeping an open mind, or I'm dead!
Well, I'm obviously still in shock, but...
Yes?
From a scientific perspective, I have to admit I'm curious.
The very little they go into vampire biology, and this is very interesting.
This is certainly a unique condition we are in. I'd love to learn more about it for my studies.
Like, a couple of things are brought up here and there in terms of how vampire anatomy and biology works, and it's very interesting, the parts that do get brought up.
I'm impressed. I can certainly see now why the doctor chose you as his apprentice. All right. Have you read Thunderstorm?
No, we have not, because our literature stats are still 0.
I'm not so sure. Why?
Well, unlike Katerina in the play, you no longer need to wonder why people can't fly.
This game really rewards a player who is well-read, especially in, like, plays and literature of the era. Chekhov comes up a couple of times, especially if you focus on Eastern European writers. Tolstoy gets brought up a couple times. Oh.
How did you do that?
By sheer will, Lisa. It's very simple.
How were you even talking with me? such a state.
That's yet another benefit of being one of us. We can project our thoughts into people's minds. I prefer it, really. I find normal speech kind of primitive.
Primitive is crazy.
Why don't you do it all the time then?
I'd love to, but you don't want to get too used to it and scare a human by accident. Now, why don't you try it? Let's see what kind of bat you are.
All right, yay. Bat time.
Goodness.
She's so cute as a bat. Look at her little nose. Look at her eyes.
Isn't this a hoot? Come on, I'll show you around.
Yay, flying time. Woo. Ah, bat landing. We gotta land.
Seems like you're catching on. Follow me.
Our vampire rank has increased. And we have points available, so I'm gonna put those into literature and writing so we're not as dumb. All right, let's go. Also, look how pretty these, like, the texture, like the paper texture in the backgrounds. We do start slowly sinking if we don't keep up our motion, but...
I can't believe I'm actually flying.
Yay!
All this talk about death, but don't you feel more alive than you ever have right now?
This is very cute.
Shh. There. Look.
If only I had 3 coins to my name, then I'd show 'em. They'd all see.
It's funny, I remember studying Michael Chekhov before I studied the
this
works
what you
of
wanted
his
to show me?
more famous uncle. Hi,
Drunk
Dubsec.
peasant.
I don't know anything about Michael Chekhov. Actually, in that vein, I haven't read any Chekhov at all. Obviously, I'm aware of Chekhov, but not in so much detail.
What I wanted to show you is how to use your new powers.
I would say I have more of an understanding of Tolstoy than of Chekhov, and even then, I don't know anything about Tolstoy. So as far as like the literature that's referenced in this game, I don't have a lot for the Eastern European side of writers. Some like English authors do come up, and some other European authors come up. Faust gets referenced at one point, and I have seen Faust, and I'm very familiar with Faustian bargains. And Jane Austen gets brought up, but not in as much detail, which I like. I like that they focus a bit more on the Eastern European authors. There is a puzzle later on, really, really late in the game, that luckily all this information is very easily Googleable. So I was able to figure it out. But if you're very familiar with the literature that's referenced, it's much faster to solve the puzzle because you don't have to Google Wikipedia articles.
Meet Trophime. He is the Countess's former serf, now custodian and coachman.
I do want to double check serfdom just because my understanding of serfs is the medieval English version. So serfdom was a system in which serfs were tied to particular plots of land. Working the fields and following the commands of the landlord, a serf was essentially owned by whomever was in charge of the land. While serfdom was technically abolished in many Eastern European countries by the mid-19th century, it continued in practice well beyond this time. Oh yeah, okay. So I was understanding it correctly.
Among other things, he makes sure no one goes in or out of here without her permission. Important man. Now, come with me.
Up. Ah, I switched windows.
How is life, Trophime?
Oh, Trophime, I'm so sorry for what I'm going to do to you in this playthrough.
My lord, is that you? Oh, the bottle you gave me. Highest quality. Much obliged.
It was more studying Michael's theory of acting practice as an extension of Stanislavski's methodology. I see. That's why I have no idea. I was talking yesterday during Zero Escape about it, but I kind of have no acting, like, I don't really have any, like, acting theory or even really formal training in acting. I just end up in acting as an extension of singing.
I can see that. It's nearly empty already.
Tropheme, I'm so sorry for how I am going to treat you in this playthrough. Tropheme is kind of a character on the outskirts of this plot, but if you choose, you can really like spend time to cultivate your friendship with Tropheme, and it really like I think it's very much worth it. He makes a terrible first impression here. That said, he strikes me as a very kind character, and I really like him. If I remember correctly, he wasn't really a playwright. Ah.
All right, enough pleasantries. Watch this.
What happened to him? Is he all right?
He is fine. We call this enchantment.
What does enchantment do exactly?
It enchants.
It makes people tranquil. While they are in trance, they don't feel pain or have a clear memory of what happened.
I'm sure this will be fine. No! We're too dumb. We can't pick the science option.
So they don't remember anything once they're enchanted?
But yeah, it's like anesthesia.
Not quite. They may not remember what happened, but they won't forget how you made them feel.
Sounds like a subject for some awkward conversations.
You don't know the half of it yet. You'll see.
So, how do I enchant someone? I don't know if I can whistle like you.
Don't worry. Whistling is just for me. It's like a cure for the hiccups. Everybody has their own way.
It's like a cure for the hiccups is cute.
When you need it, it will come to you.
Does this mean you can just come up to anybody and make them tranquil?
In theory, but it's not quite that simple. Firstly, they have to like you, an important condition. Without it, the charm won't work. Secondly, you should only do it to humans.
So it doesn't work on other vampires?
I didn't say that.
Ooh.
There are rumors that the best of the best can indeed enchant their own kind. But I don't even know if the Countess has that kind of power.
I really, really like the fact that because of the way that enchantment works, you can only use it on people who already like you. It makes it so you can only take full control over the people closest to you. And by that nature, you are only harming the people closest to you. People who don't know you as well might not have any idea of what you're doing. They might not have any idea of the harm that you cause. And in the allegory for alcoholism that they go with for this game, it's really, really good.
Besides, this would certainly not be considered ethical by our vampire brothers and sisters.
I do wonder if there's ever an option to enchant another vampire in this game. We are a newly turned vampire, so we don't exactly qualify as the best of the best that the Hussar mentioned. But I wonder if there's ever a scene anywhere of a vampire enchanting another vampire, maybe the Countess.
I bet they wouldn't mind to have that power, though.
Oh, without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you want to enchant someone?
I thought you might ask that. There are two main reasons. One, people in a trance are easily suggestible. You can use that to influence their thoughts and opinions.
It's also the way even a person being in a trance is not dissimilar to... there is a drunkenness mechanic in this game, and Jesus Christ is it disorienting, so I'm going to try my very, very best to not get drunk on stream, because I don't want everybody throwing up. Which is really funny, because I'm talking about a drunkenness mechanic, but... the way that they talk about putting someone into a trance and then that person being more likely to agree with you on things, and also not remembering what they've done while in that trance, and how it's kind of your responsibility to be kind to them in that moment, but you can choose to be a bad person about it. And in this playthrough, we're going to choose to be a bad person about it.
When you say influence their thoughts, does this mean they will do anything I say?
I'm going to try really hard not to get drunk on stream. Yep. You heard it here first, folks.
Only within reason, of course, especially when you are a beginner. Impression is a delicate art and takes a lot of practice.
It really is a very disorienting mechanic. What it does is it puts like a reverse fisheye effect on the entire screen, like including the UI. And it is rough to look at. I don't usually get motion sick during video games. Pretty much my only motion sickness is like in like cars and trains and stuff. It is very disorienting in this game specifically.
And what is the second reason?
I think you already know.
Oh, okay.
What have you done?
I just opened him up for you. Don't worry, he'll be just fine unless we bleed him dry.
Is that like opening a pickle jar for someone?
Come here. It's time for you to learn how to feed.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You're as ready as you'll ever be.
Ready as I'll ever be.
How do I turn?
Just relax and let your instincts take over. It will come naturally.
All right, new ability.
My mouth, it's bleeding.
This is another part of vampire anatomy that they add in that I like. Cracking open a warm one with the boys.
Of course, I forgot to warn you. Sorry. Don't worry, it's normal. That happens when your fangs are out for the first time.
It's leftover blood from your human body. It's fun, it's fun.
It will recover in a minute.
All right, feeding time.
His skin smells like wild berries. But not just the smell. The promise of warmth that draws you. The promise of being whole. I want to feel it on my teeth, in my body. No, I can't do this. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry.
All right. But if the Countess asks, promise you'll say that you've done it. I don't want to get in trouble because you chickened out.
I promise.
Remember, you have to learn to do it to survive. I better get back to my other errands. Don't want to get my tunic wet. Do you remember the way back?
I do. Hussar?
Do we want to be mean? Yeah, we're gonna be mean.
It's nothing.
All right then. Speak soon.
I should get back to the manor and talk with the Countess. I'll process this all later. Where will I live? What's next? There's so much I have to sort out first. But first, Hussar said I can influence someone who is enchanted. I should try it on Trophime.
All right, we do have the ability to hypnotize.
Can you hear me, Trophime? Here is something I'd like you to do.
I do think it's interesting that you don't have to be the one to enchant the victim. So we can tell him to drink less to start to wean himself off of alcohol, which is what I usually do. We can tell him to start stealing, or we can tell him to drink even more, which is like colossally evil, I think. But we're playing the nihilism route.
You will keep drinking, and will do it even more often.
Like, for what reason? I'm sorry, Trophime. Playing the nihilism route of Cabernet and shaking my head every time I make a choice so you guys know that I disapprove.
Trophime seemed pretty drunk. Hope he doesn't hurt himself with this.
But we're a
I'd
nihilist.
rather
We
not
don't
walk
care.
through the woods on foot.
We don't care. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I really do like that nihilism is one of the options when you're undead, specifically because you're not human anymore. What do human issues matter to you? Why care about other people when you might not be people, right? So I really like that you can choose that. Was that Brian David Gilbert screaming in the distance? Oh no, Brian David Gilbert. I keep clicking the wrong window doing that.
Looks like the banquet is over. Someone is still inside, though.
I am getting vaguely hungry. I read banquet as burger. Not that banquet is not food.
Locked.
That's the wrong door. That's the right door. I sure hope Brian David Gilbert's okay.
I don't understand. How could this even happen?
Do you have no self-control at all?
Girl. Girl. Oh no, Brian David Gilbert. I hardly knew ye.
It's Petya's doll, Matilda. This is so unsettling.
The doll, not the situation. The doll. I'm sorry, Matilda. We're being so mean to you. Oh boy, I wonder what that is.
What is this?
We can just leave. And then we walk away.
What is this? My God.
Oh no, Brian David Gilbert. So the relationships map, we got Arbin. Actually, I want to see how Trophimes went. Lisa saw that Trophime overconsumed alcohol, but through hypnosis, she impressed on him to start drinking even more. Oh no! Anyway. Petya now has a veil over him. Okay.
What the hell happened here?
It's all Victoria's fault. I told her he's almost empty, but she wouldn't listen.
Says another woman who also, like, drank from this human. Although I guess she did show some restraint.
What do you want from me? I was starving, and you two barely left me anything.
Doesn't matter now. We drained the man. Not anywhere, but at the Countess's manor.
Oh god. Why did that get auto-modded? Oh my god. It got auto-modded, I shit you not. It got, like, auto-modded for, like, talking about, like, ethnicity. Because you said redhead. That's crazy.
Someone is gonna fry for this, and it sure as hell won't be me.
Are you mad? No one's gonna be executed for this. He's just a human.
Couldn't be helped.
That's tragic, of course, but accidents happen, don't they?
Easy for you to say. You're not the one who will have to explain this to Elisa and the Countess.
Automod has been a little, pickier lately. Oh, Arbin.
Come with me, my dear. This is not your mess to sort out. Those morons. I knew I couldn't leave them alone with him.
I just can't seem to make sense of it. I talked with Petya not even an hour ago.
I'm so sorry. He didn't need to die today.
I'm so sorry.
What happens now?
Well, the Countess won't like this one bit. I can tell you that much.
Is she sympathetic to humans?
I wouldn't say that. However, she doesn't like murders being linked up to her property. She will find her way out of this, no doubt. But those three in the ballroom, we'll have to see.
Back in the room, they said someone will be fried. What does that mean?
Boiled in oil.
I don't know if you've heard this yet, But we can't be in the sun. It destroys us.
I did read about that in the folk tales.
The stories are true. Sometimes it's used as a form of capital punishment for our kind.
Oof.
What do you think will happen to those three outside?
Murdering a human, sadly, isn't a big crime in our community. I don't think it will come to that. If I had my guess, I'd say they will get their fangs dulled for troubling the Countess. They will grow back after a month or two, but before then, they will have to feed solely on Cabernet, and it isn't cheap.
Cabernet, which isn't cheap and is also generally only produced by the Countess.
What if they can't afford it?
They will just have to find a way. Some take loans, some steal. Without blood, we are like humans without water.
Crazy.
Arbin,
Yes?
do you know what will happen to me now? I don't even know who I am anymore. What do I do? Where do I live?
I will say, they say that vampires can't easily feed having their fangs dulled. Oh, I guess it would be inconvenient with... they said the name of the game. They do say the name of the game a lot. So the issue is, if you bite somebody, you can just take a small amount of blood. Versus, I was like, couldn't you just stab somebody and drink their blood? But then you would have an entire stab wound to deal with. And that can get you in even more trouble.
I understand it's not an easy day. We all went through this at some point. All the answers will come at the right time. For now, you just need to wait it out till someone sends for you.
I do like that there is this sort of, like, tie-in with capitalism and vampirism. In that the head vampire in these parts is, for lack of a better phrase, bleeding people dry for the sake of keeping them under her thumb.
I must admit, I feel quite restless.
Listen, not many of us might say this to you, so I want to do it. Being one of us doesn't just mean hurting people for your own benefit. It doesn't have to be.
But it will be in this playthrough. Anyway.
To me, it means that I have an eternity to become better, learn from my mistakes, absorb the knowledge about the world.
I suppose that's one way to look at it.
You know, the Countess has a wonderful library over here.
That's some Brennan Lee Mulligan capitalism critique right there. Yeah, I got some news about this game.
Why don't you grab a book and use this time to learn something new? Perfection comes in little steps. I should go now, my dear. You know where to find me.
Okay,
Next
bye,
time,
Arbin.
a drink at my bar is on me.
Thanks, Arbin.
I'll be looking forward to it.
All right, we can read to pass the time and increase my knowledge. So, we've got, the Morning Star, the Seagull, which is Chekhov, Jekyll and Hyde, which is, you know, not Eastern European, but it is thematically appropriate. And the Red and the Black, which I'm not familiar with. Actually, I don't know the Morning Star either. An epic poem telling the story of the love between an angel and a mortal woman. Okay. Kind of got that from the title. The Red and the Black. A poor but ambitious man attempts to climb the ranks of society while becoming embroiled in politics and romance. That actually does sound very interesting. Actually, what are the descriptions of these? A play about 4 artists and their conflicts, both in relationships and art. A man tries to untangle the mysterious relationship between his client, Dr. Jekyll, and the vicious thug, Mr. Hyde, to whom he has bequeathed his estate. What a way to introduce the book. We don't have good, what is our stats lowest? So this is normally 10. Any of those would work. Let's go with science and logic this time. Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, I didn't even notice the quotes pop up. Damn. That's my own fault for playing the game too fast. Quiet minds cannot be perplexed or frightened, but go on in fortune or misfortune at their own private pace, like a clock during a thunderstorm. That's so cool that they have, like, they have quotes from the books. Oh. Okay. We should
I
check out what
see
that
all
is.
this ruckus is about.
That's what I was saying, Lisa. Consequences. You will make choices, some of little and some of big consequence. You will not always know which one is which. Some of those consequences will be marked on the screen by this symbol. I will say, as far as both UI and like narrative design, that consequences marker is not terribly, it's not very clear, I feel. Same with the XYZ character may remember this. I don't think it's necessarily like a necessary implement. I do like the character may remember this, but I don't find it often comes back to us.
They must have taken Petya's body away. Lord only knows what they'll do to it. I heard noise. What happened?
Idiots being punished for their own stupidity.
Are they going to die?
I will say, the 2 other times I played this, I've told Elisa that human life and vampire life is equal in value. I've never said a human life is more valuable. I assume the argument there is that vampire life is not life at all. But this time, because we went with vampire lives being more valuable, let's see what she says.
I was going to rip them apart, but I actually thought about something you said earlier.
Really? What was it?
The potential of eternal life is more important than immortal humans. Probably not wise to face the vampiric court for a human. Still...
That was some night, wasn't it?
You'll be surprised by how quickly you get used to all this nonsense. You must be curious about what happens to you now.
I'd be lying if I said otherwise.
The way it works is that you get assigned to the one who turned you for the apprenticeship. I believe you are the doctor's disciple.
I don't really remember much before I woke up. The doctor. He was a traveling doctor that came to the city, wasn't he? He was a vampire?
He certainly was. It will all come back eventually. Don't worry about it now. Countess has a coachman, Trophime. He will take you to the doctor's place in town.
And I just made him drink more. I'm sure this will be a safe carriage ride.
He is rough around the edges, but you can learn a lot from him.
May I speak with the Countess herself?
You need to be a little more important for that to happen. Trust me, she'll send for you soon. She has errands for us all. You will be no exception.
I don't owe the Countess anything. Why do I have to work for her?
Oh, I admire your juvenile, rebellious spirit. However, I would strongly advise you not to show it towards the Countess. But then again, it would be quite a show to watch, so actually, go ahead.
Okay.
You should go. Trophime will be waiting for you, and the sun is not getting any lower. I've unlocked the door by the balcony. It'll lead you to the stairs and outside.
Oh, interesting. She doesn't ask about it.
Hey, Lisa.
Or does she? No, she
Yes.
does.
Never mind.
What is it?
You've only turned recently. When was the last time you watched the sunrise?
It must have been a couple weeks ago. I was studying late for my exams.
What did it feel like?
It was just sun in the sky. What a strange question.
Forget it. You will hear from the Countess soon.
I'm sure I will.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you. Could you please take this ugly doll with you?
Does it remind you of Petya?
Just take it with you, please.
I won't.
Sorry, it's just too cumbersome. I'm not in a position to take it right now.
I'm curious what that does to the story. Task failed is crazy. Alright, bye Matilda. Guess we're never gonna see you again. That's the wrong door. Get... What? Is that not- oh, we have to- do we have to actually use the front door?
They must have taken Petya's body away.
Yeesh.
Lord only knows what they'll do to it.
That is a lot of blood. Is that not the front door? What door are we using? Is it the top right? Oh, whoops. There we go. Poor Gore. Hey, Trophime.
Hello again, Trophime.
Evening, my lady. Forgive me, but have we met before?
Oh, that's right. He must not remember me because of the enchantment. Oh, no. Lisa just mentioned your name when she directed me to you.
But of course, silly me. I was worried I forgot. Happens to me after vodka sometimes.
Oh, Trophime, I'm so sorry.
Are you fit to drive?
I am, my lady. Truth be told, I had a drink or two earlier tonight, but then the strangest thing happened. I must have fallen asleep and woke up. Must be the fresh air.
Yes, must be it.
In any case.
Shall we head out?
Of course, my lady. Your wish is my command. Mistress Orlova arranged for you to be taken in and out of the town as you see fit, at no charge.
Nice.
Whenever you need a ride, myself or another driver should be ready to pick you up.
That's very kind of you. Thank you.
Don't thank me, my lady. Countess's orders are the law around these parts.
Well, in that case, send her my thanks.
Will do. Get in, my lady. Don't be shy. Marta and I will get you to your new lodgings in no time.
Thank you, Marta.
One more thing. I'm afraid you'll have to wear a blindfold, my lady. Mistress doesn't want anyone knowing where the manor is.
Oh yeah, well what if we pull a Adventure of the Greek Interpreter and memorize the sound and which direction things are? Yippee.
We're here, madam. You may take the blindfold off.
So this is my new home.
Hey, title card.
Whoa, Marta.
What? Where do all these sparks come from? What is happening to me?
That's the sun, madam. You must go inside your new home soon.
One of the greatest weaknesses of vampiric kind is sunrise. Not only do vampires burst into flames upon direct contact with the sun, but being away from your vessel, i.e. coffin, during daylight hours also leads to the same result.
But don't worry. There's still some time until sunrise. Doctor's flat is on the second floor. Door on the right side.
Thank you, Trophime. Be safe.
If I'm honest, madam, no one is really safe here.
I will say, Trophime is one of the few humans who does know about vampires.
Go,
'cause,
Marta.
He is employed by the Countess.
Oh.
But, you can't turn in front of him because the game doesn't let you turn in front of humans, which I feel like is a thing that they should let you do. Second floor. Oh, wait. I want to show this. Need an invitation to enter that place.
Pavel, dear. You shouldn't bother with an old bag like me. Surely you have better things to do.
Nonsense. I always have time for you.
Hi, Dr. Volkov.
Besides, ticks are no joke. Good thing I noticed it when I did.
It's true.
One more day and the parasite could have dug itself fully into your body.
Gross.
My goodness. Well, thank you kindly, Doctor. Once again, you are my savior.
I'll check up on you in a couple of days to make sure the bite area doesn't look infected. Lisa! Is that you?
Hello, I crawled out of the ground. Sorry about that. Oh, it's walking time. Also...
Oh, this must be the new apprentice you were talking about.
Indeed.
Very good.
Oh, they're
Very
talking.
good. Thank you again, Doctor, for taking pity on an old woman.
Give it a second.
Hello, little dove.
Hi, Faina.
You look like you've seen a ghost. Are you all right?
It's just been a rough day.
Ah, that's what I thought. You poor girl.
Thank you.
As we are neighbors now, call me Faina. I'll be right next door if you ever want to check up on an old woman. Don't be a stranger.
Yay! Hi, Faina. I love Faina. I lied when I brought up Hussar as a favorite character. I do really like Hussar. Dr. Volkov is probably my favorite character.
Welcome, Lisaveta. I've been looking forward to your arrival.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tonight was your initiation night, wasn't it?
I'm sorry, Volkov.
I trust everything went smoothly.
May I ask you something?
Certainly.
Why were you not at the manor tonight? I could have used some help there.
My apologies. I got tied up with work. Crucially important research.
God, we're starting off so bad.
As a fellow scientist, I figured you'd understand.
The way I've played the game prior to this, Lisa and Dr. Volkov ended up in a very sort of father-daughter relationship. We are going to ruin the chances of that.
I know it's been a lot to take in. I also know that I am partially responsible for your condition. I turned you into what you are now, and I will guide you through it.
I have so many questions.
I can only imagine, dear. Sadly, time is not on our side right now. The sun will come up shortly, so we'd be wise to leave them till later.
Could have happens now.
Starting tomorrow, I would like you to work with me as an apprentice and help me with my research. In return, you'll have your own room here in the apartment.
Would I have a room to myself?
Of course. A bright mind needs space for work and contemplation. It's not much, but I hope you grow to feel at home there. Your vessel is already inside.
My vessel?
Yes, the coffin that you were buried in.
Goodness, but why?
When the sun is up, you can only be safe when you are near it. An obscure rule, but life of our kind is riddled with those, I'm afraid. Now, go and have some rest. Isn't that what they say? You'll rest when you're dead?
We can't joke back. We're not cool.
That's not very appropriate.
I'm so sorry, Dr. Volkov. I liked your joke.
You're right. I shouldn't have joked about it so soon. My apologies.
What is our relationship with him starting at then? Cold? Oh no.
By the way, I left an outfit in your wardrobe that you may find more appropriate for your medical work around town. It's probably a bit old-fashioned for a city girl like you, but it's all I have. Now, time for you to get some well-deserved rest.
Thank you, Doctor. Good night.
All right, sleepy time. Yay! All right.
After passing that threshold, I Feels so safe all of a sudden. I think it has something to do with the coffin, the vessel. Ironic that something like that can bring a sense of calmness.
All right. Let's see what the other outfit
There's
looks
plenty
like.
of room for my outfits. And look, there's already one in here. Must be the one the doctor mentioned. I wonder why he has it in the first place.
Provincial garb.
Strange. Can't imagine the doctor getting much use from this, even back when he was a human. Lovely vanity, though.
All right, empty slot. Let's go.
I should check out the general store for more room decor options.
We don't have anything yet. All right, an ad break is
That's a
starting
nice place
soon.
to store my keepsakes. Huh. The window goes out directly to the main street. Could come in handy now that I can actually fly.
The most embarrassing thing I do when playing Cabernet is I will switch to a bat and then, like, I'll forget to open this door in the evening as I'm about to go about my tasks.
It's almost sunrise. I shouldn't leave the house at this hour. It's almost sunrise.
And then I have no
choice
choice but to fly back home and then, quite embarrassingly, use the front door. All right, an ad break is about to start. So I think I'll play through this dream sequence that we have in the coffin, and then I think I'm gonna call it just because I do actually have like plans today. I did say it was going to be a shorter stream. So I mean, we did a full chapter, and we are about to do a bit of the beginning of the second chapter. And then we will call it. And then as far as streams for this week go, I may do some date everything tomorrow. Wednesday, we're back to our usual Yakuza 0 with friends. Thursday, I have a new cover coming out, assuming that I finish the mix in time. What? And I will also be co-streaming the Capcom Direct, which is at 5 p.m. Central, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's 3 Pacific time. Friday, over on Max's channel, we will be playing Dual Destinies. And then Saturday, we will be back to the Great Ace Attorney. And then on Sunday, instead of my usual stream, it is the last Sunday of the month. So we're going to be doing a community night over in my Discord server. We're going to be doing a watch party of the Ace Attorney movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a very fun adaptation. I like it very much. So we will be watching that. Yeah, let's do this last stream sequence and then we'll call it.
It's been a long night. Time for a little rest.
Lisa. Hey, Lisa.
Oh, I lied. It's not a dream sequence.
Who is this?
Come over to the window.
Oh, it's only you. You scared me half to death. What do you need?
I have some business from the Countess to discuss with you. Would you kindly invite me in?
The window is already open. Why the formalities?
Have you not read about this in your vampire stories? We can't come into someone else's chambers unless we are invited.
That sounds rather tedious. It must make it much more complicated to hunt.
Believe you me, if we could only avoid this rule, most of our kin wouldn't be so skinny.
God.
So, will you let me in or not?
Sounds to me like you are rather keen to be here. But what do I get in return?
You tricky minx. All right. The corner shop owner, Oleg, owes me a favor. If you let me in now, I'll speak with him and get you some store credit. How does that sound?
Interesting.
Sounds like a deal. Come in, please.
I didn't know we could do that. All right, we'll talk to Hussar and then we'll call it.
Nice place you got yourself over here. The good doctor must want to keep you comfortable.
The doctor has been very kind.
See, cold calculation, bargaining, even extortion, that I understand. The intentions are clear. Kindness is where I get suspicious.
As cynical as it sounds, I think you might be onto something. I'll keep an eye on him.
Great minds think alike.
In any case, you're not here to discuss human character, are you?
That's very true. Let's cut to the chase. Countess would like you to run a quick errand for her, and if everything goes well, she will be very grateful.
What's the favor?
There's this young couple in town, Evgeny and Anastasia.
Oh boy!
More importantly, they are related to the new mayor, Savely Skortsov.
Okay.
I think Evgeny is his second nephew or whatnot. No matter.
I very confidently called them brothers in my server once. They're definitely not. He's definitely like a second nephew.
According to our sources, the mayor occasionally stores important documentation in their house. Do you see where I'm going with this?
You don't want me to rob their house, do you?
Teehee.
That's a rather tactless way to put it. Countess would simply like you to retrieve said documentation.
That is stealing. You have just described stealing. I do want to bring that up. That said, I think the plot gets a little wonky if you don't what was I gonna say? Yeah, if you don't rob their house. We were gonna rob their house no matter what, but
Before you say anything, remember that she allowed your conversion to be completed and virtually saved you from death.
that is true.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Splendid. All you need to do is to befriend Anastasia or Evgeny and get invited into their house.
The friend. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it.
Then you can enter any time and get what you need without them ever finding out.
And how do I know it's them?
He's a hotshot poet, and she is one of those sensitive artistic types. What else? Oh, they are both blondes. I always found that peculiar.
I also find that peculiar. It's funny.
Where should I look for Evgeny?
Let's see. He is a mediocre poet who, surprise, surprise, enjoys an occasional shot of vodka. I would start your search at Arbin's Literary Salon.
What else can you tell me about Anastasia?
Not much, although I do often see her going in and out of the church.
You go to church?
Heavens, no. But the roof of it is my favorite spot in town. I'd like to smoke there on occasion.
That is very funny. A vampire deciding to smoke on a church rooftop. Documents.
What kind of documents am I looking for?
All I can say to you right now is that you'll know them when you'll see them.
That's not very helpful.
That will have to do.
I think I've got it from here.
Remember, just befriend one of them and get an invitation to their house. This will come in handy when you'll have to hunt, too. I'll check in a few days and see where you're at. Almost forgot. Here's a little something for incidentals.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your new life. I'll see you around.
All right. Bye, Hussar. All right. That's
Too
gonna
bad
be
I can't see my reflection in mirrors anymore.
where we call it for today.
I wonder if I will one day forget my face.
Oof. All right. Let's see. We are going to raid the singular other person currently playing Cabernet. This is not a very big game. So I do not know this person, but there is exactly one other person playing Cabernet right now. So why not sort of pass on the Cabernet enjoyment? Yeah, I already went over my schedule for the week, so I will see you guys presumably tomorrow, presumably at the same time, for some date everything, I guess. Yeah. All right. As usual. Oh damn, the ad break's gonna end in a couple of seconds. So I'll give it a couple more seconds and then I'll do my little tiny spiel again. In about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, people are back from ads. Now that people are back from ads, I'm going to say once again, we're going to raid somebody who is playing Cabernet. It looks like they are a bit further in the story than I am based on what I'm currently seeing. But yeah, I really like this game, so may as well just give some support to other people who are playing it. Yeah, I will see y'all tomorrow for more streaming. Also, if you haven't yet, I updated my VODs finally, so they are somewhat caught up. If you would like to check out Yakuza 0, Trials of Innocence, or the finale of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, you may now do so. All right. Everybody stay cool. It's really hot outside. It's really hot in my room even. Everybody stay cool, stay healthy, stay safe, whatnot. Have a good afternoon, everyone, which is not something that I will say very often. Goodbye.